Creativity is an important part of life if the intention is to continue to expand the ability to think. Being able to recognize lags in creativity will require you to create a process to stay in the flow of alternative thinking. Alternative thinking is what leads people to the point of inventing. Piecing known facts together in ways people do not think of normally will allow you to achieve goals that others are unable to imagine. You have reached a certain level in life. Even if your desire is to maintain that way of life, it will require you to remain creative. Many researchers suggest that creatives channel their negative experiences into creative works to cope. Creativity helps the mind understand the personal and outer world during the rebuilding process. It helps the mind make sense of the experience, then understand and express new ways of being. Trauma induces creativity, and creativity induces post-traumatic growth. Ernest Hemingway is among the many who endured trauma with the outcome of intense creativity. His words, entirely unintentionally, speak directly to the idea of post-traumatic growth. There is nothing noble in the superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. With that thought, the repurposing of spaces for purposeful creative stimulation sounded reasonable. Here's the idea. Having alternative spaces that you know will produce creative thoughts about resolution of problems is important. Spaces that allow you to think fluidly without inhibition are also important. There's a need to be able to think creatively where you spend the most time, though. That space is where you need to become most productive. Changing the layout of a space has helped me in the past. Painting the walls, adding items to the walls, or changing furniture could also benefit the ability to think differently. The most important part of living a vigorous, active life. It is alternative to the thought that a person should be able to simply imagine. The skill of imagining allows a person to become creative no matter the surroundings or circumstances. This skill should allow a person to remain calm in a creative flow state no matter what intentional emotions or external happenings are now occurring. The extremes of these mindsets are minimalist and maximalist minds. A minimalist will be able to use the few items they have to solve an issue, while a maximalist would not be able to solve any issues with few resources. In contrast, a maximalist will come to life with an infinite number of resources, while a minimalist with the same number of resources as the maximalist will become overwhelmed with the choices. Think about the times that you have been creative to better understand where you have become the most productive. Creativity will result in resolutions. Creativity will allow a person to create processes. The creation of processes leads to efficiency. Efficiency will allow you to manage and to have expectations of a specific process. Doing so will allow you to understand when to use a specific process in a chain of processes to get the finished product in a timeliest manner with the highest return on investment. Human existence requires us to produce a product to exist. Therapy highlights the importance of understanding the triggers that cause a person to relapse back to the trauma as a cycle of their life. Then there are those who can access their emotional creative space, but the exposure to their inner world causes them to be re-traumatized repeatedly. Their stories or creative endeavors trigger unhealed trauma, and they get trapped in old, painful patterns. Sometimes remarkably successful creatives get stuck in this unproductive emotional creative space when they least expect it. Despite years of success, depression, anxiety, or addictions can emerge from those unresolved emotional wounds and trap an individual in a loop of creative decline. This thought puts more emphasis on the importance of being in tune with your emotions and desired areas of productivity. Your need for external validation suspends your quest for inner validation. You get stuck in rejection instead of using that to fuel your determination to try again. You get stuck in your emotional experiences instead of being able to use them to create. You cannot apply yourself to the development of talents and skills that you need to express your creativity. You cannot access or use your talents and skills. You're endlessly confused about what talents and skills or how you want to express your creativity. You cannot tolerate fears, doubts, insecurities, and these feelings control you. You feel too numb or anxious, and you cannot access or apply your creative energy. You are afraid to succeed. You cannot use failure to inform your journey, and you get stuck in feelings of not good enough. You are a perfectionist and cannot tolerate mistakes. Criticism, judgments, or feedback are too painful for you to hear and move beyond. You cannot get yourself to do the work because you are so busy thinking about how people in your life would react. You feel a deep longing to create something, but it all stays in a realm of imagination. You feel you are wasting your time, unable to live up to your potential or pursue your goals or dreams. You feel something is holding you back from pursuing your goals or dreams, but you do not understand what is in your way. This is a special time in the existence of humankind. At no other time in human existence has a human being been able to access so much information so quickly. With our ability to reach out to so many people quickly, no one should be at a loss for conversation. With social media platforms in place to host our conversations, we stand a better chance at achieving a life that we desire. With this accomplishment, we also could attract a true conversation of our interests that will reinforce our own interests. Reinforcing our interests will allow more people the opportunity to create more significant impacts for the people of this world. Hopefully, with good intentions, your interests will grow enough to change lives in a positive manner. On the basic existence of an individual life, now should be the time that we should be able to improve our own lives. Bringing a product to market is a courageous endeavor. It requires a person to imagine, organize, convince, produce, then repeat. There's an endless market of nightlife entrepreneurs or workers. The nightlife industry has an endless supply of people that would prefer to be a major star in life and continue the party circuit. Stars do make their journey through the nightlife industry, most falling short of stardom or significant success in the nightclub industry. Some people have the look, others the talk. Still another could walk the walk. To me, it's a business with a never-ending demand to produce results that attract people to their interests who are willing to pay money to be entertained. Here's a thought from one of the most recognized people in the electronic dance music industry who took festivals to a new level with otherworldly productions, Pasquale Rotella. Providing a memorable, one-of-a-kind experience for our fans has and always will be my first priority. We take a lot of pride in our productions, from the scenic stages and the performers to all the interactive art pieces we are featuring. Not unlike yourself, most people would be fortunate enough to succeed at one thing in life. Finding a good nightclub experience would be the difference of making your life more complete. Again, I would suggest that you understand yourself with the concept of maximalist or minimalist. If you desire certain things at certain times, then just have fun going forward. For those that choose to go with one scene over another, I have learned that you will find a group of people that will become like family to you. A transition will occur from attendee to an influential part of the decision making at least. You'll become part of the creative process of nightclub design. This will afford you the opportunity to create part of your own existence. This is an important part of attracting the desired clientele that you could transition into business partners. You are seeking to produce a creative space to attract people with similar interests as yourself to advance your life. The result will allow you to become a more productive human being. This is the freedom of life that most people are hoping to achieve, a pain-free life experience that continues to elevate our own human experiences. We cannot be creative if we refuse to be confused. Change always starts with confusion. Cherished interpretations must dissolve to make way for what is new. Great ideas and inventions miraculously appear in the space of not knowing. The hotel industry is a simple advancement of life, one step towards the progress of living out the truest potential of life. Imagination, creativity, production, desired results are the key to a successful life process. The same request will apply to your understanding of being a minimalist or a maximalist. This will allow you to find or create a hotel that will cater towards your needs. As the details for individualized touch become more mainstream, consider this. What makes a property as authentic as possible is reviving something that has always been there, reimagining it because it is already grounded in the community. People want to feel special. With this focus in mind, large hotel organizations are finding a way to do just that. Even though fall and spring are most often regarded as Baltimore's high seasons, anything we can do to enhance the guest experience and further highlight our property as a winter destination is absolutely a priority, says Ali Lord Anoni, marketing manager of the Ivy Hotel in Baltimore, which this year transformed its courtyard into a winter garden with rustic-inspired decor, twinkling lights, and draping magnolia branches. The hotel allows you to take your thoughts of a good life and create an outstanding life that translates to dignity of yourself, your guests, and your staff. There's an endless assortment of products you could produce within the hotel industry. This is not about anything other than finding a hotel with the spaces that will allow you to become a part of an organization with a flexible mindset to change, to attract clientele with like mindsets. In a world of people accommodating your requests, a significant life experience I had was living in a hotel in Shanghai, China, with the assignment of conducting research on top-tier hotels in the area. The assignment required me to live my life. I was able to exercise, explore, research, meet people, go to clubs, and experience hospitality services throughout the city. To me, this is the life I am pursuing. Out of everything I was able to do in my life, the hotel stay has become a top experience. I believe that when the ultimate groove in my life occurs, hotels, nightclubs, and penthouses will become my existence. The penthouses in a lifestyle residence tower could undoubtedly be the key to unlocking your ultimate potential. The penthouse lifestyle is a reality experience that could go unmatched for those people who thrive by like-minded people. The people in the lifestyle residence towers are searching for the same things in life. They are owners within the same residence tower as the owner of the penthouse. For each owner respectively, they could learn from one another to no endpoint. The same idea of life still applies. That point is this: we are all different. Yet within a lifestyle residence tower, there is a common thread that connects people. Through this, we can understand people of different economic and social classes with similar tastes and interests to our own. It is a distinct experience being at the top of a building than in any other space in the building. Identify what makes your creative mind flow. Here are some ideas to make this happen. Having a creative outlet is connected to better mental and physical health. Creative hobbies can keep our brains sharp and even lower the incidence of dementia as we get older. Creative people report improved immunity from illness, better outlooks, moods, and even a greater sense of purpose. Creative space is essential, even if you do not consider yourself an artist per se. It is a privilege to live above the skyline, within a residence tower full of like-minded people. To me, the experience is like buying a successful organization, an organization full of people I know are committed to ensuring that our way of life will continue at the highest level. The only better scenario is if additional sources of income could flow through spaces like hotel suites and nightclubs within the same luxury residence tower.